Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to the Product Marketing Festival in APAC. With product marketing experts from Singapore, Australia, China mainland, Hong Kong, Malaysia, India and many other regions. We'll be covering all product marketing aspects from sales enablement, go-to-market strategy, to customer onboarding, positioning and messaging. We got them all. You are guaranteed to walk away with tons of new ideas and strategies to take your product to the next level. I would also like to take this chance to say a big thank you to all festival speakers. We cannot make this without you. Also, thanks for the support from iClick Interactive. Their presentation, Discover the Secret to Adapting Data-Driven Marketing in China, is scheduled at day 1 afternoon, 3:30 Singapore time. I highly recommend it if you have not signed up for it yet. Last but not the least, if you would like to interact with our speakers and other attendees, please join our group page link at the end. We look forward to the Q&A session and your feedback over there. Relax and enjoy the festival.
Hi, greetings. Welcome to Product Marketing Festival. I am Raghunandan, currently associated with Core.ai as a Product Marketing Manager. I carry 6+ years of experience working with different size organizations. I started my career with a large multinational organization and then moved to a mid-sized company and then to a startup. This transition gave me an immense experience of understanding how different businesses function differently. I have also worked closely with sales and BDR reps, helping them with product collaterals, marketing research insights, and leads. This exercise helped me to understand their day-to-day work life, their requirements, pain points, and also learn how sales and marketing can work in tandem to yield better results to the organization. I also realized that no two sales reps are alike. Everyone has a unique style and comfort level. This experience gave me invaluable insights into developing a killer sales enablement plan. Before I jump into today's topic, I would like to thank PMA for setting a platform for me and to share my experience and learning. Okay, that's it. 5S formula to ace your sales enablement hack is the title of the session. There's a reason for calling it as a hack. I shall discuss this in upcoming slides. Okay, so before I proceed, I would like to spend a few moments talking about Core.ai. I have been associated with Core.ai for more than a year now. Core.ai is an enterprise virtualization platform and solutions company enabling enterprises to automate and enhance digital interactions with customers, employees, and partners. Core offers a conversation AI-based or local enterprise platform to design, build, test, host, and deploy AI-rich virtual assistants across 30+ different channels and voice channels in 20 different languages. The platform leverages cutting-edge technologies, including artificial intelligence, machine learning, natural language processing. It also offers virtual assistants with conversational and digital user experience. Core.ai also provides a domain-trained and pre-built virtual assistants for banking, insurance, HR, and IT support. Core.ai is also coming up with many revolutionary products. Cora is one such product. Cora is an enterprise virtual assistant, and it acts as a buddy to your employees. So what does Cora do? Cora helps every employee in day-to-day work routines. It automates your task or it simplifies your task, be it scheduling a meeting, searching for a file, or even interacting with enterprise tools. So it's a very good tool for employees to have, and it will definitely improve the productivity of employees big time. Besides that, Core.ai also provides cloud-based call automation and digital deflection services called Deflect.ai. So the company is headquartered in Florida and have an offshore development center in India. For the past few years, the company has grown multifold. Core.ai products are revolutionizing customer experience, employee experience, and agent experience within enterprises, I would say. Big time. So Core.ai is positioned as a leader in intelligent virtual agents in Peak Matrix Assessment 2020 by Everest Research Group. That's it. Let's move into today's topic. Okay. So product marketing marketers wear different hats. What do I mean this? We all understand the fact that PMM job is never the same from one organization to another. It varies and depends on the size of the organization and industry. On a typical day, product marketer wears multiple hats. Product position, As a product marketer, we try to understand the product, market, demographics, need, value, and product offers, and come up with a compelling position statement and strategy. Creating a compelling positioning is essential, and also to ensure that it resonates across the organization is even more essential. GTM strategy. Well, of course, and the key ancillary that is vital to bring the products into the market. Perfectly planned GTM will carry weight in the product's future. I need not stress more about product marketers brainstorm a lot to bring out a compelling GTM strategy. It is a very critical game and can have a serious impact on the success or the failure of the product. Sales enablement. Yes, this is one more hat which we wear. We build content-rich collaterals to our sales colleagues, enable training, and help them push their prospects forward into the pipeline. That's how sales enablement is helping sales guys and businesses, market research. And yes, we do spend countless hours analyzing the market potential, competitors, features, customer needs, and whatnot. These are indispensable resources while building a product roadmap of future bouquet. User or buyer persona. We all agree on the fact that we cannot sell anything to everyone. It doesn't work like that. Product marketers understand this better than any others. The end user has to be defined clearly, and the whole plan has to be staged to fit the very persona. We take a lead role in shaping this out. So buyer persona is very critical while we are designing any strategy. So whatever strategy we do or whatever campaigns we run, that all should revolve around the buyer persona and many more. And the list goes on and on. Okay, of all these hats that work marketers wear every single day, sales enablement is special, at least for me. I see sales enablement as a challenging task that needs a higher level of collaboration and communication. When done rightly, the role has the power to change the dynamics of the business, believe me. And this is interesting. All that said, here is one question I come across many times. I see many different people asking me, is product marketing different from sales enablement? What do you think? Of course, I do not have a definite answer. It all depends on multiple factors: size of the organization, size of a sales team, organizational structure, and many other factors. If you ask me to be specific, I would say no. Because I feel sales enablement is part of product marketing, and I strongly feel product marketers do great justice to sales enablement. In the recent State of Product Marketing Report 2020, 73.8% of product marketers agreed that they are responsible for sales enablement, and it stood in third position following product positioning and product launches. That speaks it all. As a product marketer, you were very much responsible for building sales collaterals or sales enablement, as opposed to building sales collaterals and helping your salesperson or sales teams with relevant information. It may be a collaterals, it may be training, or it may be research, whatever it is. So that's it. What is sales enablement? HubSpot, marketing solution platform, says that it is a process of providing your business sales team with the resources they need to close more deals. Okay. HighSpot, popular sales enablement tool, refers to sales enablement as equipping sales teams with content, guidance, and training they need to efficiently engage buyers. Well enough. Sysmic and the leading sales enablement marketing enablement software defines sales enablement as a process by improving buyers' interactions with relevant sales content that is tailored and personalized. Fairly good. Brainstorm, data-driven platform for enablement by providing integrated content, training, and coaching services for salespeople. Well, that's nice. What do I say? Everyone talk the same language. Sales enablement is a function helping sales folks. Of course, I do have my own definition, and here it is. I say sales enablement is an art of building a vigorous arsenal to your sales reps and assisting them to excel in front of the prospects with the competition, shorten the sales cycle, and increase the revenue. So what I mean by this? So sales enablement is a function which primary aim is to help your sales guys in providing whatever ammunition that is required to them to be to excel in front of their prospects, or for that matter, with the competition and reduce the sales cycles and increase more revenue. So pretty much It's like we are shaping the sales guys to become more robust and get their work done in a better fashion. According to a report by Vintage Point, on an average, organizations that invest in a dedicated sales enablement function improve sales results by 29%. Well, this is not a my study, but Vantage Point Performance is talking about this. So that shows the importance of sales enablement. And you may have this question, why do we need sales enablement? Or else you're preparing a plan for your management and you want to answer these questions. If you want to have a sales enablement within your organization or preparing for a proposal to your management, what all points you need to consider? So I am giving 5 solid reasons for you to understand why sales enablement is very important. First, to empower sales reps with right and timely information. When I say right and timely, I mean it. We discussed this multiple times, and yes, and this is one solid reason why we need to have sales enablement in place. When I say right and timely, I mean it. Again, I'm confirming this. The information should be relevant to the context, be it the prospect, geography, market segment, or overall demographics. And timely, yes, the information should be the latest. It had to be updated timely based on the product advancements or organizational strategies. Next, translate the product information into easily consumable content. Easily consumable. I am highlighting this word because sales folks will have a very little time in front of the customer, in front of the customers or prospects. Especially in tech companies, most of the time the collateral speak in technical language, making it difficult for the sales teams as well as outsiders who are accessing these documents. With sales enablement in place, since they understand both the technical and business aspects, they can build assets that are technically sound and easily consumable. Upskill sales reps on the latest product features and updates. To compete with the market and stay ahead of the competition, products have to evolve and embrace the new technology and features. Whenever there's a new product feature or update, sales enablement will take up the responsibility to educate the sales and on the new improvements and also the new features and the way how they can position these features into the market, and also nullifying the friction between sales and marketing. I had observed this quite often. Marketing claims that sales folks are not utilizing their content efficiently. On the other hand, sales complain that marketing is not generating useful content. This is a common challenge everywhere. Sales enablement forms as a liaison between sales and marketing and ensures both the teams work towards a common objective of improving business. And the final reason, what I would say is, achieve faster sales closure and improve upsell potential. We had talked about it here and there, and now I'm bringing it here. It's like what we discussed till now, right, timely, easy consumable content, upskilling sales, and nullifying the gaps. All this boils down to fastering the sales closures or getting some new upskill opportunities. And how can we do this? We shall discuss this in the further slides. So here I just brought a case. Now we know what is sales enablement and why do we need it. Let us understand with 2 cases. What will happen when we have a sales enablement in place? What will happen when we don't have a sales enablement in place? So without sales enablement, there will be piles of content, collaterals, outdated content, sales unawareness, lack of metrics, and longer sales cycles. So when I say piles of collaterals, we know every day we generate so many collaterals and they are scattered here and there. We don't have a proper framework or a proper structure in place to sort these collaterals. And at the time when we need these collaterals, it's a nightmare to pull them out. Outdated content. And yes, the product keep on evolving and we have regular updates and we keep on getting multiple new features added. And when you don't update your existing content with these latest advancements, then there's no use. The content is as useless as a dustbin. And sales unawareness. Again, the products, it happens with few companies, I would say. Product team works differently, sales team works differently, product team keep on adding new features which are not properly conveyed to the sales guys. So they convey it, but how? Maybe in one email or else one live demo session. Is that enough? I don't think so. Why? Because sales guys need to have some process or mechanism where they need to understand this very clearly in depth and how this will benefit the businesses. So we need to understand the background of this product feature also. So if you're coming up with a one product feature, you need to explain sales guy, why are we coming up with this product feature? How is it benefiting the user? Did any client request it, or else are you doing it on your own? Or else on your based on your market research, or you're coming up with this kind of a product? Is there any competition? So this kind of information should be shared with sales guys, so they will get some perspective of why the feature is here in the first place. Lack of metrics. So when you don't have sales enablement in place, you have multiple collaterals. Marketing create few collaterals, product team create few collaterals, and customer success team also comes up with few collaterals, maybe case studies or something. But you don't have proper metrics. There's no one particular definite team to track all the collaterals, how they are working and how they are functioning. So there's a clear lack of metrics, and with this lack of metrics, what will happen is you don't understand whether what you're doing is uh, resulting into business or not. That's one important thing. So there's clear lack of metrics and longer sales cycle. So all these things boil down to increasing the sales cycle. Why? Because when sales guys are not equipped with proper ammunition, so they'll be clueless. Means they don't have proper resources to make the sales to forward the sales quickly. So that's one challenge. Okay, next talk about the cases where we have sales enablement in place. Ease of access collaterals. Yes, when you have sales enablement in place, the accessing collateral is very easy. Why? We have one definite place. You get all the collaterals into that place. You structure them categorically. You structure them product-wise. You structure with keywords or whatever it is. And for every person who are coming to the portal, it's easy for them to access all the collaterals and all the assets. Up-to-date content. And this is one of the important feature. Maybe we'll discuss much about this in the future further slides. Updation of the content is very critical in today's product environment. Why? Because today's products are not static products. They keep on evolving, they keep on changing every now and then. So whenever the product gets new feature, we discuss this, whenever the product gets new feature, we need to update the content accordingly. Onboarding and training. So when you have sales enablement in place, you also have onboarding and training in place. What does it mean? So your sales guys are trained with all their information, all the latest updates, and whenever a new sales guy come into the organization, he's not clueless. He'll get all the required necessary ammunition he need, and he shouldn't take much time to get started. And within a matter of days, he can start working on the deals. Shorter sales cycle. When you have all these things in place, what will happen is the sales cycle will come down. So sales cycle will come down. What does it mean? So when you're nudging the prospect with right and timely information, it means that you are giving him the right information at the right time, that you are changing his mind and you are pushing him towards the closures. So this will definitely help you in shortening the sales cycles. Customization. And customization, when I say customization, well, customization is more about meeting the needs of every prospect or every customer. So whenever there's a particular requirement for one customer, you need to ensure that all your collaterals are in that language, or talking about the same language. So when you're targeting a company in one geography, make sure that your collaterals are relevant to that particular geography. So these are the pretty much differences we can observe when we have sales enablement in place and we don't have sales enablement in place. So that's it. Let's move into the actual meat for today, and that is 5S formula to ACE sales enablement hack. Or else I won't say hack, but sales enablement. Okay, with all my experience working with different sales teams, I had developed this plan. This plan involves 5S: survey, strategize, setup, study, and strengthen. So this is, I would clearly say that this is as per my understanding, and you can always feel free to make some changes, or else feel free to cut it to fit your code. And first, let us talk about survey. So what does it say about? Survey is the first and foremost thing you need to do while you are building your sales enablement plan. Understand organization objectives. Well, every organization will have their own set of rules, they have their own vision, they have their own vision. So as a sales enablement rep, you need to understand that. So you need to understand how are they positioning the product, what is the product roadmap, who are the target market, who are the target audience, and what is their 5-year, 10-year goal. and what are the revenues they're targeting for this particular year, and where they want to see down the line in the next couple of years, and who are they willing to partner with, whether they're going into one market or they want to expand to different markets as well. Do they have any acquisition plans? So all these things, you need to understand what your organization is looking forward to. That is very important for you before you start even thinking of any activity of sales enablement. Define buyer persona. By now we have discussed this probably multiple times, and yes, this is very important, and I will stress here as well. Buyer persona is very important, and you need to come up with a proper and solid buyer persona. Buyer persona may not be a one single activity, but you may have different for different products, but ensure that you start with one. Create one particular buyer persona, come up with a detailed demographics, detailed profession, or detailed geography, detailed industry, and create a one solid buyer persona. That is very important. And analyze the current process. So what does it mean? As we said, like every organization will have their own vision, own mission. Similarly, they'll also have their own process. So as a sales enablement, you should not go and try to change the complete process. Rather, what you need to understand is you need to go and learn what is the process they are following. What is the sales cycle, I would say. How much time is it taking? Do they have any training in place? How are the sales guys getting training? How sales and marketing are working together? What is the average deal size? Identify the touch points. So where in touch points, in the sense where you see sales folks are interacting with the customers, in which channels are they interacting, and while doing the interaction, what are they showcasing to the sales customers. So all these things you need to understand. List the available collaterals. Yes, now you have got some fair idea about your organization, what is the process, what is a buyer persona, and now you come down and sort out or gather all the collaterals that are available. So as without sales enablement, I am sure the collaterals must be scattered everywhere within the organization. So as a first job, what you need to do is you need to bring all the collaterals together. Access the repository, if at all you have any. If not, try to work with everyone and bring out all the information that is accessible. List down all the assets and usage metrics if available. I'm sure if at all they don't have any formal structure in place, tracking of metrics is very difficult, but we need to live with that. You need to gather all the assets. I would suggest gather all the assets. If you don't have metrics, that's fine. Don't worry about that. And you can do a small activity to ensure these collaterals will be useful for you in the future. You tag them with products or with industry or with customer names, whichever is comfortable to you or comfortable to your team. So this exercise will help you to further pull out the resources easily. Identify the gaps. Now go back to the drawing board and think of the information you gathered. Identify the gaps that you as a sales enablement professional can fill in and add value to the organization. Of course, you'll definitely find the gap. Why? Because there's no process which is completely 100% perfect. There will be some gaps, and you should be smart enough or sharp enough to identify those gaps and think on the lines how you can fill in those gaps. So this is pretty much about the survey stage. And the main net what I would say is in survey stage, what you're trying to do is you're trying to gather as much as information you can and trying to sort it in a proper manner. Next, strategies. And yes, so strategy, it's very important. We all know that. We all do strategy. We all do have strategies for every activity we do, be it campaigns or be it product launches or be it GTM strategy. So we strategize for everything. Similarly, for sales enablement also, we do have to have a strategy. So first point in the strategy is communicate with stakeholders. I would say this is the most important activity of the sales enablement. Communicate with stakeholders. Why is it so important? Let me tell you. Sales enablement is a function where you are acting as a mediator between different groups. So to get that done perfectly, you need to be in sync with every stakeholder, be it a sales guy or be it a product guy or be it a marketing guy, for that matter, talk to customer success team. And you need to communicate with them frequently, understand their problems, understand their process, understand their feedback and whatnot. Yeah, I would stay so much on this particular topic that you need to communicate or collaborate with stakeholders big time. So maybe you need to talk to sales guys to stay in sync. So it's very critical to talk to the sales guy. Why? Because end of the day, you are helping these folks. So you as a sales enablement professional and sales guy should be in sync. It shouldn't be like you create your own set of activities, but sales guy don't even care about what you're doing. That's not the right practice. You talk to the sales guy and you both discuss, debate, or come up to a common conclusion, and then start working towards the plan. Talk to the product guys. Make sure that you have a cadence of activities. You set up a bi-weekly call or a monthly call with the product team. Get the regular updates, get the regular revisions, what is happening to the product. If possible, also get the product roadmap with them. So this product roadmap will help you to plan your future accordingly. So if at all you have 30, 60, 90 days plan, you need to work with product team also to ensure that what are the major releases that is happening in this time frame, and you need to include those activities in your 30, 60, 90 plan. Talk to marketing guys. So why marketing? Marketing guys are the customer facing at many times, not even customers. They do many activities which are outside facing. They handle the website, they handle the social channels, and go and talk to them. They'll have so many insights with them. They'll understand which page is getting more views. So it can be a input for your process. They can also tell you what are the competitors doing, what are the keywords they're targeting. So all this information will be an input to you, and this will help you in building your sales enablement plan. Talk to customer success team. So customer success team, this suits very well for especially for the B2B segment. Why? Because these guys are the one who always talks to the customers, and they understand what customers say about your product. So build a calendar. Yes, by now you have already identified the gaps, understood the process, and communicated with every important team within the organization. So what you need to do now? Build a calendar. Build a calendar is nothing but build a plan. Build a plan with the timelines. So maybe you can start with writing the list of assets you want to create. So what will be the list of assets? It may be a white paper, it may be a brochure, or it may be a fact sheet, it may be battle cards, whatever it is. So list out all the assets that you want to build for your sales enablement plan. And also include in your calendar the sales training and onboarding process also. So it is very important to have a calendar for this training purpose. Why? Because maybe once in 2 weeks or once in a month, you can set a training sessions to your sales guys and ensure they all are onboarded properly with right information, and also the existing sales guys are given with proper access to all the information. Next, map your plan with the sales cycle. This is very critical here. Map the assets to the sales cycle. So what I mean with that is, so you have a sales cycle, you understand what is your sales process, and you need to map your collaterals to every stage of the sales cycle. So if at all in sales cycle they are just in a consideration phase, you need to have a set of collaterals which can be shared with them during the consideration phase. If at all they are comparing with the competitors, then you should have a different kind of collaterals where you can share with them while they are considering the competition. Or if they are working on ROI documents, then you need to have an ROI calculator or ROI documents where you can share it with them so that they can use this to share the information with their management and show the ROI. And it will be like a battle card and competitor analysis if the prospect is in exploring phase, and product release documents to the existing customers and so on. So this will help in upscale. This will help in improving the sales cycle. Identify key metrics and set goal. You should define your metrics that you would want to target. So why? Because you cannot vaguely explore all the things. You need to have some target in place. You need to have some key metrics. You need to have set some goals. Maybe this may be futuristic, but you need to understand it. Maybe you can say, I create this asset in down the line in next 6 months. I need to get 30 clicks on this particular asset. Or else you need to come up with a few goals saying that, okay, when sales guys use this kind of assets, the sales cycle should come down by 5%, 10%, whatever it is. Set your goals and try to work towards that goal. Last, explore and evaluate tools. So you may start small, but it is always important to have a larger picture in mind. Tools are essential to streamline the process, understand the usage metrics, and give you the insights. So with tools in place, the advantage you have is you need not do a lot of manual repetition work. So when you have only 50 assets, Maybe spreadsheet or Google Sheet will help you or will do your work for you. But down the line, when you grow and when you have 250 or 300 assets, I'm sure these spreadsheets will not help you. You need to have some robust mechanism in place which gives you insights and which automates all your processes, and it creates a common interface for every individual in the organization to come and access what all he needs. So that's all. That's it with the strategizing. And with strategizing, what we understand is we understand what our stakeholders talk about. We have prepared their plan. We had our sales cycle, and we map all our assets. And we also identify key metrics, and we also set some goals. And what next? Setup. So setup is actual implementation phase, and here what we do: create sales assets. Now you have calendar in place, you have mapped the assets to sales cycle. So what is left? Just start building collectors. That's it. You have everything in place. You spoke to many people, you got the information, all the information what you need, you have a strategy in place, you have a plan in place, you have a calendar, and now you need to come to actual implementation and start building the assets. And before you start building the assets, make sure that you concentrate on quality rather than quantity. Maybe in your calendar, you have noted that, or your target for 1 month is to create 4 battle cards. That's good to have, but ensure that you don't miss the quality. You don't compromise on the quality rather than going to the quantity. It's important for us. Why? Because when you run behind the quantity will be compromised, and those assets will be of useless. There's no the value out of the useless assets will be nullified, I would say. Draft positioning statements. Come up with a few statements that clearly describes how positions your product. Why is this useful? Why? Because these product statements or one-liner statements should convey what your product is and what your organization is all about. So these statements have multiple uses. They may be used by your sales guys as an icebreaker, or they may be used by your marketing team to increase the brand value. So it is very important to have a positioning statements, and these positioning statements should be same across the organization. You should make sure that everyone are using the same kind of a positioning statements. So for this, you can work with different teams. You can work with the product marketing. You can work with the product teams, or you can work with the management. And if at all they have any positioning statements, you can borrow them. You need not work from the scratch, but it's good to have a positioning statements, and also ensure that you use these statements certainly in all the marketing collaterals or marketing assets you develop. So set training and onboarding process. It is essential to have a weekly or bi-weekly meetings with your sales teams to help them understand what, where, and how the sales assets are progressing. Take time to run your new sales colleagues through the process and explain them what is happening here and how can they get benefit out of it. And also talk to them to understand what is the best way for them to get trained, and if there's any best practices they would suggest, make sure that you follow them or implement it in your plan. Right? Because at the end of the day, they are the one who are at the receiving end. It's always better to have some plan which is useful for them. Build an asset directory. So asset directory is very important because it is the access to all the assets you have. Make it easy for the sales to find, use, and share it when needed. So rather than pushing assets within the folder or creating a complex enterprise folder structure, make it easy, make it simple, make it quickly searchable with the hashtags or keywords or product wise. So it should be as easy that even sales guys or whoever for that matter should be able to access it from the mobile itself. So it should be that easy. Onboard tool or system. So in the earlier phase, we discussed about evaluating the tools. So if at all you evaluate some tool, it's time for you to onboard it properly. And why tools are very important? Because tools have multiple benefits, as I told you. They help you in getting the insights of the collaterals what you have. They help you streamline the process, and not just that, they give you a lot of insights. So these insights are very valuable for you as you progress in your sales enablement journey. So if at all your organization does not approve for the tool, or else you can have some structure in place with basic logic in place. Even you can work on a folder structure, or you can work on Google Drive, but you need to have some logic in place that is easy to understand, and that is easy to access all the collaterals that are available. So this is pretty much with the setup phase, and here is where we do a lot of work, and this is most important. We need to deal this setup phase very diligently, and this will impact the success or failure of your total plan. And next, study. So this is more about understanding what you did, whether your process is correct, or what went right and what went wrong. So first thing you need to do is build a comprehensive dashboard. Dashboards are very important to understand and analyze if we are on the right track or not. Build a comprehensive dashboard according to your goals and metrics, and your dashboard should give you a hawk view of all the activities: what is working, what is not working, where you need improvement, where you need, what are the activities you need to leave behind, and which are your top priorities. So by seeing this dashboard, you need to understand all these activities. Track usage metrics. Monitor the performance over the agreed timeline. So that is pretty much what you do in the usage metrics. So whenever you create some collaterals or you put them into the sales enablement tool or whatever place you have, then you need to monitor the usage. So you need to understand how sales guys are using it, whether they're using it or whether they're finding it relevant. For this, you may have a call with sales guys once in a week, or you can use whatever time you have and talk to them and understand how are they leveraging these assets or these collaterals, or whatever the training you provide, what is happening with the training? Is it that they are finding it useful? So all these things you need to understand. Check the goal progression. Yes, we have already set our goals, and now it's time to see whether our goals are achievable, and or else we are going in the right direction or not. So if not, take down the drawbacks, and we need to retrospect on activities what had happened. And it's very important because we may have goals, but it's very critical for us to move towards in the direction where you can achieve the goal. So maybe we do mistakes, but we need to sit back and think of it and understand what is happening, where the things are going wrong, and try to not repeat these mistakes in the future, and come up with a proper solid plan where you can progress towards the goal. So collect feedback from stakeholders. Talk to the stakeholders and get their feedback. Provide them with a better way to share feedback. And why? Because every time it's difficult to get a feedback from everyone. So you need to create one mechanism where it will make easy for you to track the feedback. Maybe you can go with the Google Forms, or you can have a survey in place, or you can have a feedback mechanism. So whenever someone attends your training, you can ask them to share their feedback, or when someone has access all your collaterals or assets, you can ask them to share their feedback, and then understand if the customers are liking the collaterals, or else with these collaterals, if the sales guys are seeing any improvement in the sales pipeline, or else is it helping them to fasten the sales cycle? So these things you need to understand and collect information from the sales guys. Next, so strengthen. So this is the last phase of the plan. Now you understood what are the merits and demerits of your plan. You understood where it's going well and where it's going wrong, and now it's time to correct your mistakes, or correct your plan, I would say. So first, what I would say is evaluate the metrics and feedback. So when you collect feedback, everyone has their own opinion, and we cannot consider every feedback that comes on your way. Consolidate the feedback and analyze the results. If it makes sense, then implement it in the phase-wise. So as and when you come up with a feedback, don't just try to implement that feedback. Why? Because everyone have their own perspective, and you should be in a position to understand whether the feedback which someone shared is making sense, and understand if it fits in the overall organizational review. So that is very important, and you need to spend some good time to understand the feedback and interpret it wisely. Customer results as you need it. So this is again very critical aspect of sales enablement. Why? Because today we are targeting global markets. No product is confined to one region or one demography. So it is important to have a variation in assets. Why? So a collateral or the content which is relevant to Japan may not be relevant to US. So you need to change it accordingly. So when you're targeting the Japan market, the language should be different, the positioning should be different, the benefit should be different. And when you are targeting a US market, the same, all this pointers should be different. So you need to have customization. It's not just the demography wise, it can be by the size of the company also. Maybe for larger companies, you have a one proposition. For smaller companies, you have a different proposition. So all these things, it's important for you to segregate properly. And you have a different set of uh, customization available for different assets. Same applies for person to person as well, for individual to individual. So maybe if you are targeting a lower profile, lower professional guy, or else a manager level guy, you need to have one kind of assets. When you are targeting the C-suite guys, you need to have a different kind of assets. Why? Because most of the time C-suite guys are more interested in talking about ROI and talking about the broader concepts. So your assets or your collateral should be according. Update the assets with the latest content. This is very critical and time-consuming task, I would agree. Whenever there is an update in the product, you will need to ensure that the same reflects in every collateral. So once update is done, you need to have a mechanism in place where sales has to be informed on this process. Why? Because many times I came across this challenge. So whenever there's a new product update, what as a sales enablement team or product marketing, what we do is we keep on updating the collaterals. But on the other hand, sales guys will not know whether what is the latest version or what is the new version. They just use whatever collaterals they have with them. What will happen here is they can create a serious impact. Maybe we are talking about an X feature. The X feature is added to your product and you update it in the sales collateral. But the sales guy is not using the same collateral, but he shared a different collateral where the X feature is not available in that itself. So altogether, you are saying that you are hiding your ability of a product in front of the customer. So this is, I would say, this is very wrong to have it such way. It should be like you should have a formal process in place where you update the collaterals and you convey the same to the sales guys and make sure that sales guys are using the updated content. Implement certification to the sales team. So again, it depends on the organization to organization. And if at all you are in large organizations, it's really good to have certification in place. Why? Because in in few companies they have a suite of products, and every product has a different selling proposition and a different positioning. So it's important for sales guys to be aware of all these activities. So when you have certification in place, they will get aware of all the products what you're having and what is the positioning, how are you positioning each and every product. So that's about the strengthening phase. So here I would say these are the 5 important steps for you to implement a successful sales enablement strategy. And so these steps are the one which I created, and these things work for me. And I definitely would say that this may or may not work for you, but you can always feel free to make some changes to this process. And but I would suggest that have a process in place that will help you go in the right direction. So here I try to create a asset com. So what does this mean? These are the list of assets which we can develop for our sales enablement plan. It may be battle card, it may be complete analysis, it may be product demo videos, survey, calculator, FAQ, fact sheets, whatnot, everything. So you can have different kind of assets, but again, as we said, as we discussed in the strategized plan, we need to have a list of assets first in place. Then you need to map them to the different sales cycle. It's very important. And these are the assets which I currently work on, and definitely you may have different assets as well. And it's always good to add some innovation into the assets. And these may not be the only assets. You may come up with different new assets as well. But it's good to have the list of assets you develop in your plan so that you can track them properly. And lastly, about the sales enablement tool. So till now, we discussed whether you want to have a sales enablement tool or not. But here, what I'm trying to show is that I'm trying to share few tools. This is I picked this from the Product Marketing Alliance blog. It's where they talk about a toolkit, and try to understand whether you can use these kind of tools or not, and see if this tool fits in your plan or not. And also, you need to understand whether you have a go ahead from the organization. You shouldn't take or choose tools for the namesake, but when you choose tool, make sure that serves your purpose and that fits into your organization and also that fits into your current system. So that is it with the sales enablement tools. So that's it. I would stop here and I would conclude here. So this is my talk, and that's how I build my sales enablement plan. And I would like to ask you for the feedback, and if at all you liked it, or you have any feedback, you dislike it, whatever it is, you can let me know your feedback. And I am accessible on LinkedIn, and or else you can directly write to me. And also, I would be more than happy to connect with you on LinkedIn. And yeah, that's pretty much. And thanks a lot for joining the session and taking your time to listen to me. Thanks a lot. Thank you once again. Have a great day.